All right. All right. We are here. May you. Okay. So how many people do we have here? Okay, we are officially live, May. We are officially live, and Facebook out Hendrix from Personal Functional Fitness, and today, guys, interviewing a good friend of mine, Mayuri Bawan. She's been a dietitian for 6 years now, since 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. And yeah, May has done some excellent work. She's helped so many of her clients transform, losing tons of weight, um, teaching them how to eat properly. And yeah, she's going to basically, she's in front of me now, and I'm going to debunk as many myths as possible and try to get out as many secrets, beliefs that May has, and how she has been helping her clients lose so much weight and keeping them accountable as well. So yeah, let's introduce May. How's it, May? How you doing?
How's it going? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Good to see you, May. Yep. Okay, so May has been studying together at UT, I think in 2014. And May is now situated in Joburg, and she's qualified dietetics BSc, right? Honors
Yes,
BSc.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you've been doing really well. So thanks for taking the time out today. Thanks for coming out and sharing your secrets on diet and how to get shit done.
Yeah, thanks, Garth.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, what we need to just start doing is just educating people on how to actually just eat really well. Because a lot of the population or society just thinks that cutting out foods is the way to go to try and get easy weight loss, which isn't really the case.
Yeah, I hope you guys can hear there on Facebook Live. I'm not too sure. Just give me like a thumbs up or anything. Just let me know whether you can hear May speaking via webinar. Okay, May. So I'm gonna give you a rundown of what we practice at EFF Bootcamp and how we kind of hold up our clients accountable and help them drop weight and stay on it all the time. Okay. So you say my line is bad.
Yes. I feel like I can't see you. Me. Or can't hear you really well. Sorry.
Okay, just let me quickly. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but your picture clarity is not good.
Okay. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Let's just stick to this one, right? Okay. Okay, so May, I open Facebook. So what we do is we have 5 basic, and I'll go through the rules. Okay, so the first rule 1, is we cut out all sugar. We want you to cut out all sugar from your diet. Okay, so because we believe that, or I personally believe that is the number 1 deterrent of getting people to drop weight. The insulin spikes are all over the show, which affects emotion, which affects your behavior, affects everything. And that's when the binge eating starts, or they can't control the eating patterns, okay, because of sugar level, sugar spikes. So if we look at sugar spikes, you speak about things like refined sugar, and obviously things like the white sugars, like your pastas, your potatoes, your breads. Me, if I eat bread, geez, if I look at bread, I get fat. To be honest, it's like I just feel.
Well, how much are you eating then? How much are you eating if that is the case?
Even if I have like a 2 slices of bread at night, and it's like normal low GI, and the next morning I will feel like bloated. I'll feel it. Say that with peanut butter and butter, I will
Yeah,
feel
but I
kind
do,
of
but
the
I,
next day.
but I, sorry to interrupt, but I do think if you're gonna eat bread, try to rather do it earlier in the day. So either for breakfast or for lunch, and not to do it as often in the evening because it will tend to make you feel a bit more heavier around the evening time.
Okay. Okay.
And depending on who's having it, I would say, um, when it comes to ladies, try to look at only doing one slice as opposed to two slices. Obviously, you don't know where you'll be, so sometimes you might maybe have a sandwich, but then always opt for a half a sandwich as opposed to the whole one.
Okay. But now in our plan, for just say we do a 6-week plan, we cut out all of those things. So we cut out your breads, we cut out your rice, we cut out all your potatoes, we cut out all the white carbs basically. Okay, every white carb, and we replace those things with things like quinoa, amaranth. I don't know if you ever heard of
Yeah,
amaranth. So we replace it with those grains. So all
good,
the white
good.
carbs are taken completely. Okay, and we also
Yeah,
we introduced legume,
good,
beans, all different types of beans. So it's more of like a
brilliant.
slow carb release style.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
then
those are all
number
good.
two, then number two is, remember, this diet as well is to create discipline. It's more about creating discipline. I'm sure
Mm,
you'll agree that all diets do actually work. It doesn't matter whether you go in Tim Noak style with a lot of fat, whether you go in only vegetables as your carb, whether you go in only complex vegetables. I've done that as a bodybuilder. Where I'm sure you can remember where I used to eat white pasta, white potato with my chicken breast, and that was all I ate. And I used to lose tons of weight. I used to just get leaner and leaner. That's all I was eating, like 6 meals of that per day, just like maybe
but
half a potato or okay. But I'm going to come back to that anyway. You can continue. The point is, I believe all diets do actually work. All of them work because they all getting you off sugar. All of them are getting you off refined sugar. All of them are making you disciplined. All of them are making you follow a regiment of eating pattern and style, which you need consistency. That's where our system falls into place. It forces them to be accountable. Number one, okay, because you can give any meal plan, and if you don't follow a specific way of eating itself, nothing's really going to work. So you can eat clean and consistent for 1 or 2 days, and then all of a sudden up by having your slice of bread the night before, or going out and snacking on your child's chips or stuff around you, or having a little cupcake there and thinking it's okay. It's not okay. So anyway, Rule two is no calories, calorie-filled drinks. So things like sweetened coffee, sweetened tea. You cut out all that sugar. No juices, no sodas.
mm,
Uh, yeah, so you can drink as much unsweetened coffee and tea as you like, and water as much as you like too.
mm.
Okay. Then rule three is what's rule three again? Rule three is you are you allowed wine? Okay, so you're allowed to drink 2 glasses of wine at night if you want, red or white, maximum of two. It's fine, only two. Point is, don't get drunk. Don't get dehydrated the next morning, because
Mm.
that's going to lead to laziness. That's going to lead to not feeling motivated. So we're trying to avoid all those things. Then rule number 4 is you've got to use a tool called Diet Snaps. Okay, so you got to take a picture of all your meals. Diet Snaps or Diet Camera. So we use
Mm.
FitnessPal and we use journaling before, but what I found is that when people are actually taking little pictures of the meal, so they're snapping because their phone is with them all the time. So every meal they take, they snap, and it gets stored into an awesome application. When they come for the accountability session week where we weigh and measure them, all we need to do, okay, Mrs. Jones, please show me your diet snaps. And Mrs. Jones will show me what she had on Monday, all the meals. I see if the weather she had 4, 3, or 5. Tuesday, how many meals. I can check the meals exactly. So she can show me all the meals, and I can see whether she has a pattern and exactly what the portion sizes that she's eaten, and control it from there. Also, really give portion sizes. I believe that, for instance, if you're going to eat 3 meals a day, and you're going to eat them
Yeah.
5 hours apart, each 5 hours apart. Your meal one, you can't have like breaks. You can't have cereal. That's also one of our rules. You can't have cereals. The reason being is that all bran flakes is going to give you enough energy for how long? 2 hours max. For me, half an hour, then I feel like snacking. You know, has sugar in there, it has added sugar in there that is spiking insulin, which means you're going to go up and down. So some people can maybe hold it out for 5 hours, but I think majority of people feels like a snack, feel like half an hour later after eating all bran. So what we recommend is go for things like bacon, eggs, or something more substantial and real, something real food based. So maybe eggs and cold meat and beans or something like that with your
Yeah.
meal one. So at least make sure you monitor when your next meal comes. Okay, so when you come to your meal two, you can note how long you felt satisfied for, and whether it sustained you for 5 or 4 hours, because that's actually the meals that you're looking for. Then there's another cool trick that we use MCT oil. So I don't know if you heard of MCT oil before. It's like your
No.
it's
Oh,
palm oil.
MCT. Oh, yes, yes,
So,
yes, yes. Medium chain fats. Yes.
so it's an energy that keeps you satisfied and going for a longer period of time after a meal.
Yeah.
So I will not have it in the morning, early morning, with my double espresso. I'll have a tablespoon of MCT, and often I feel satisfied for a long period of time, maybe 2, 3 hours before I even feel like eating meal one. You go for a morning workout. I'll usually have 500 mils of water and an apple just to spike my energy and give me some sugars before. Usually I can stay 2, 3 hours just on MCT and double espresso. So that's similar to Tim Noakes, the way he would his diet and his pattern and the style that he follows. And then the final rule is screw rules. So we have one day where we allowed to eat anything and binge on anything, just to create some balance and to scratch your own itch. So I mean, it's difficult to stop sugar cold turkey, boom, done, unless you're super disciplined. So at least you
Yeah.
can reward yourself at the end of the week and say, okay, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., I'm going to eat 10 cakes. I'm going to eat 10 burgers. I'm going to eat fucking whatever I want, 2 milkshakes, whatever. And yeah, so um, in Sunday, you go back onto the diet. I remind them also that normally the very next day they pick up water weight. So when we get into the scale, the Monday,
Yeah.
the weight normally just, but it's mainly water. Then on Tuesday it starts coming back down again nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look, man, like I think most of our clients, the most pressing questions are like, we hear things like you can't eat dairy, you can't
So
eat.
just to interrupt you there, because there's certain things that you mentioned which I'm going to debate on that with you, because at the end of the day, I don't really believe in someone should have a cheat day because they look so forward to that day, and at the end of the day they're not exercising portion control. So it's saying like, okay, I'll be good from Monday to Friday, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I'll just binge on unhealthy processed foods, and then by Sunday evening I'll go back to my diet. And I think at the end of the day, it's very much, people get tired of the diet mentality. They get diet fatigue. And I don't like to call it a diet. I think it's a lifestyle. And yes, it might take longer, but you're learning good eating patterns. And I think that's what you need to start focusing on, or clients need to start focusing on, that it's okay to have a burger midweek, but you know, maybe what you need to compromise and say, instead of having the full bun, rather have a bunless burger, and maybe share the chips with a friend, or maybe just have the bottom of the bun as opposed to having, you know, the whole full-on burger meal. Because that also teaches you to say that it's okay to have a cheat, even if it's midweek. You don't have to wait till the weekend to have something that you enjoy, because again, it's restrictions, and people don't like that after a while. So yes, you could probably go on for a good month with being very strict and being extremely good at cutting out certain foods, but it's not necessarily sustainable long term. So I would say I don't really, you know, agree to the once a day, once a week cheat meal. So I think if you're gonna want something, try to incorporate it into your plan a bit more subtly, but within its control portion.
Okay. And what if people can't control? What if people do not have any control at all?
Well, they
And they need
learn.
rules.
I think at the end of the day, yes, I think, you know, for a good few weeks, we do need discipline, we do need structure, but then we shouldn't have that cheat meal. We shouldn't have that cheat meal within that period, because then that just shows that because once we start giving it to them, they have that expectation to say, okay, fine, on Friday I'll eat that, so I'll be fine. But they're not learning about sustaining their bodies with good nutrition. So I think maybe in the first few weeks, yes, cut it out. But then after that, we do need to slowly educate them to say that they don't have to be fearful of eating out, because you can eat out healthily, but you just need to make the right choices. And it's saying that, and remembering that a menu is just a guideline. So whatever the restaurant offers, you use that, and you can make up your own meal. So often what I do is, if I go to Tasha's, I would often look at their size to see what they have and look at the other meals. So if I want a specific salad, I use that as a base and add on things that I know is healthy. So instead of saying, or just picking a generic meal option, make your own meal according to what you know you are allowed, you know, on your eating plan.
Okay.
And the other thing that, sorry, just to interrupt you again, in terms of wine, I think that also all depends on the individual. So normally we would say, fine, you can have wine. I don't deny that also to my clients, but if it is for weight loss, I try not to give it more than 3 to 4 times a week. That's just my personal what I see with my clients. And also for women, they would allow 1 unit, for men 2 units per occasion. So it does differ when it comes to males and females.
Okay. Cool. Next question, May.
Yes.
Just say now you lose your weight, right? So you're on a specific strict, very strict diet, and you lose most of your weight. Now you want, okay. So I strongly believe that you need to still prepare your meals. You need to plan. You need to still pack them. You can't get up unless you got real discipline that you know you're not going to wake up in the morning and go to Spar or Pick n Pay or Woolworths and you need to go and buy one to eat, which most doesn't work. Just doesn't work if you do not have a plan. Do not have all your meals structured for you. What are the options that people can take if they go to things like the Woolworths, Spars, or the restaurants, in restaurants? Do you know of any tips or meals that they can actually buy that should be the first choice when they go into get a takeout meal?
Okay, so there's quite a lot of options, and I think at the end of the day, it's where people are generally or what they sort of like. But my go-to when you go to Nando's, I think it's saying, can I have a quarter chicken with a corn on the cob and some sort of side, so either be a Portuguese salad or a roasted veg or a coleslaw. Sometimes the coleslaw can be a bit laden with mayo, so just be careful on the quantity that you dish out for yourself. But that's my option. Or you could do a chicken strips and spicy rice. Again, it goes back to portions. So saying, yes, it is a good meal, but if it's for weight loss, you do need to look at quantity. And normally my recommendation for ladies for weight loss is normally about a half a cup of rice. So this is essentially a half a cup, but might not maybe look like that. So my suggestion is to maybe look at taking these cup measurements and actually do a pre-measurement beforehand, either at home or wherever you are, in tablespoons. So if you're ordering it out, you're able to say, okay, fine, a half a cup of cooked rice is equivalent to, say, 3.5 or 4 tablespoons. So at least you still, you're still exercising portion control, even if you're eating out. If you have to go to Simply Asia, my suggestion would be like a chicken stir fry, and you could say, can I have an extra portion of stir fry veggies? If you're doing it for the evening, I would keep it quite low in carb. If it's for lunch, I would do the rice option. Try not to do the noodles, because again, from a fiber point of view, you might not get as much. And I actually measured it, that the portion of rice at Simply Asia is 1 cup. So it's appropriate for a male, and then for a female, they might maybe do only half the portion. If you're going to like Rockamama's or like a burger, like Hudson's or something like that, I would maybe do like a naked burger, so just the burger patty, and then really like try and layer your burger with lots more veg. So like lettuce, cucumber, tomato, onions, any extra veg that you could tick off on the list.
So you can actually ask these people. You can actually ask these people to change and make your own time.
So at the end of the day, like, the menu is just a guideline. If you know that you cannot eat the roll, or not cannot eat, but you're trying to avoid the carbs, be specific when you order. And most of the restaurants are so accommodating. So I think at the end of the day, it's just, we have to be better, or clients have to be better at ordering off the menu, as opposed to just choosing an item from the list as is. So definitely, I mean, myself, I never order from the menu itself. I'll always make up my own thing. So I think at the end of the day, it's just people need to be educated and not shy to actually just order what they want. And then, like, again, if you go to Fisherways, your option would just be a grilled piece of fish with some sort of salad, either veg or salad. So it's pretty standard in terms of when you're eating out. But where the trouble comes in is if you're running into Woolies at the petrol station and you haven't had lunch. It's really saying, do I do a microwave meal, which is quick and easy? But again, it depends on where you are. So if you're trying to lose weight, is that maybe your best option, or is there something else that you could possibly choose? So normally what I try and tell my clients is try and get a tub of cottage cheese, and you could get those Provitas that are packed individually in 4, and get like vegetable crudité, like so rosa tomatoes, carrots, cucumber sticks, and maybe nibble on that. Or alternatively, the popular one right now is the crunchy Asian slaw, which is quite low in carbs as well. But also, if you wanted to add more, you could always just add an extra Provita or fruit, and then add in your tuna. So either the can or the sachet, or Woolies also has those to-go barbecue chicken fillets that you could add into it. Or alternatively, you could do like the bulgur wheat salads. Although the only thing that you're going to have to watch out is their fat content, because it does tend to become quite heavy on that side. Okay. So I would rather maybe do half portion.
Yeah. So the diets out there, right? So purists would be, no, you're not supposed to eat fruit. Any purists would say, yes, add fruit to your diet. Only eat fruit, in fact. Okay. Then you get diets to say, no, don't eat any dairy, like Provitas. That's like something that whenever people diet, that's the first thing they go. They go and buy themselves Provitas, but I don't think people know how to control those Provitas. So how many Provitas should someone in fact have if they're going to have Provitas? Apparently,
So
2 Provitas is the equivalent of 1 slice of whole wheat bread.
So it's actually 4. It's 4 crackers. It's 4 Provitas, and that's essentially 1 slice of bread. But again, it depends on the individual. So for a male, you might maybe be able to have 8. For a female, 4 is enough. And depends, if you're having it as a snack, then I would just keep it at 4. So I think it all just depends on the individual themselves. And listen, Provitas is not also the only cracker that you can do. I find there's many options on the market, like Cornthins, rye crisp breads. Again, your aim is to look at what is the fiber content per 100 grams. So essentially what you're looking for is more than 6 grams per 100 gram. So if that is when you're looking for something, try to use that as your guideline to choose the best cracker, because the worst is you buying crackers, you're thinking that it's helping you, but you need that fiber, because fiber is also essential in terms of optimum weight loss too, and gut health.
So you're actually looking for 6 grams of fiber per 100 grams. Is that what you're saying?
Or more. Yeah.
6 or more.
6 or more, yeah.
And how many meals per day do people eating? So you get your fasting 2 meals per day at 10 and 6, and then you get your 3 meals a day, and then you get your 3 meals with snacks. Then you get your 5, 6 meals. Personally, I believe what we do, you can eat anywhere between like 2 to 6 meals, as long as you are routinely staggering your meals and you are controlling your portions and you know exactly the amount of energy each meal is yielding. And if it's not giving you enough energy, you need to change and keep changing until you find the perfect meals that's going to satisfy you for the entire day. That's going to make you feel satisfied. That's not going to drop your energy levels. It's not going to spike your insulin. You need to find those meals. And that's what we try to do. We try to get the discipline in that. And I feel the only way to get people state of mind is cut out all sugars. Cut out even your fruit. You can't have too much fruit as well, because people tend to snack on more. So when the emotion goes down or they're feeling hungry, they go into fruit. Okay, it's fine, and they eat copious amounts of fruit. Eventually they have like 10, 6 apples, whatever, and then they can still have a meal. So now they're just adding in more calories all the time. They just basically add more calories, and they're not actually burning those calories off, because they won't train every single day. They're only going to train a minimum of 3 times a week for the normal person.
So I think with that question, it's very dependent on the patient or the client. So normally I would advise 3 main meals, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then maybe 1 snack. So normally patients or clients get sort of hungry around the afternoon time. So I would advise, if they want something, they can have mid-afternoon. It also depends, if a patient is diabetic, they may need more snacks than the next person. So again, if we need to look at medical background or medical history as well. But generally speaking, for weight loss, I would do 3 main meals and 1 snack in the day. When it comes to fruits, I don't allow more than 2 fruits a day. Generally 1 with breakfast and 1 during the day. Also portions. So portions of fruit are very important. So yes, people are saying, oh, but fruit is so unhealthy, or not unhealthy, but in terms of sugars, it is all about quantity. So it's saying that if you're going to eat strawberries, you allow 10 strawberries. That's 1 unit of fruit. Or if you're going to eat grapes, 15 grapes is 1 unit. Or if you're going to eat, I don't know, cherries, 16 cherries is 1 unit of fruit. So it is very much on quantity, as opposed to saying, should we completely cut it out? Because it is actually giving us vitamins, minerals, and fiber. So it is giving us good nourishment, but people abuse it because they're eating mindlessly. They're eating because they're bored, or they're eating because it's there. And I think that's where the client needs to really ask the question, am I hungry, yes or no? And really not go between the lines of that. So it's either yes or no. And if they are, then fine, have the fruit. And also I always say to them that if you're hungry, you won't be choosy of what you would eat. You would eat whatever's in front of you.
Okay. And in terms of how much water would you drink per
So
day?
that also depends. That depends on their body weight. But the average they do normally recommend is up to 2 liters. But you know, if a small frame person is coming to me in terms of like a 45 kg, she might maybe have less. So, and also depends on the foods that she's eating. So if she's eating a lot more foods that contain water, then she's probably getting it through that as well, or through her hot beverages. So yeah, so it all depends on that individual and what's their food intake.
Okay.
Mm.
What else can I ask you, May? Are there any questions out there on Facebook that you'd like me to ask May? Put in and we can get some answers out of May. If you guys are keen.
Also, you mentioned something about coffee. I would recommend no more than 4 cups a day, because you're still looking from a caffeine point of view. So even though you're saying maybe unlimited, just
No sugar.
sorry, no sugar. Yeah,
No sugar.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, no sugar is fine, which I agree with you. But from a caffeine point of view, try and not do more than 4 cups a day.
Okay. I only have like one double espresso in the morning. That's it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. But you know, other people tend to also do green tea, and green tea also has caffeine. So be careful. As much as we counting it as probably our water intake, we're still getting caffeine through it. So we just have to be careful on that.
Okay. What's your view on fat? Fat in the
On
diet.
fats is good. We
Yeah.
do need fats, and I think what we need to start looking at is the type of fats that we're including in our diet and the quantity. So, you know, people tend to graze on nuts. Again, nuts is healthy. I definitely advocate it, but again, it goes back to saying, you know, is someone trying to lose weight or trying to gain weight? Because it's a different scenario completely. So again, it's exercising portion control in terms of where you're having it. But really focusing, you know, often people say if they're making a sandwich, they'll put margarine or butter on it. Start using good quality fats like avo, or even olive tapenade, or even like a basil pesto. So you're getting flavor, but you're also getting health benefits from it, as opposed to just a simple spread. So really focus on, you know, wherever you're adding it, that it adds value and taste, you know, to your meal. But be careful, you know, when we're having a salad, we can easily laden our salad with lots of fats, with seeds and nuts and avo and olives, which is all, again, good and well. But going back to what am I trying to achieve? Am I trying to achieve weight loss? Then you have to cut down on your quantity in terms of what you're adding. And again, you can use the rest for the next day. So, you know, if you had to compare a salad to a pizza, they could probably be the same calories. But a salad obviously just seems more healthier, but we don't know exactly what's in it. So definitely when you are ordering a meal out, be aware of how many fats they're adding on. And if you're a bit nervous, always ask for it on the side. So I would do, can I have an avo on the side? And they generally give you about a half an avo, and normally 1 unit of fat is about a quarter. I actually have sorry, I'm just looking for my avo. Oh, seems to be missing. Anyways, but basically you can have a quarter of an avo is 1 unit. So I would share that amount with someone if you are at some, you know. Yeah.
Okay. So quarter is allowed, 1/4 per day.
1/4 per, I would say, at a mealtime, or even if you had to do a half, you just have to be aware of where else you're using your fats, because remember, you're still cooking. You're still cooking with oil later in the day. Found it. So this is an 1/8. So you could do 2 of these at a meal. or you could do a half, that's fine, but you still need to be aware where else you're using your fats during the day.
Okay. All right, let's wrap it up, May. Thank you so much for taking the time to come
Pleasure,
on,
Carl.
and I hope we can have you back on our webinars a bit later. Maybe
Yes,
in the
and
week.
I think also, you know, if patients or your clients, if they're struggling with food, they do really need to see a dietitian, because they'll be able to get the quantities right, and with your success in terms of the fitness point, they'll see amazing results. And I think that's where we just need to keep driving that, where, you know, as much as you could do both, brilliant, but let us do the food, and I think your clients will just see exceptional results. Yeah.
I do have a question here from Mr. Anders, Ironman. He's asking women's an alternative to real food, pre-workout, post-workout recovery, etc. What's your belief
Sorry, can you repeat that question again?
Any supplements an
Yeah.
alternative to food? So Craig, I'll give his background. He does Ironman. He's quite an avid athlete, trains really hard, puts in lots of hours on. So basically, I think he's asking because I know he uses a lot of supplements to help him fuel himself.
Yes.
So when is some alternative to real foods, and always necessary to take supplements as pre-workouts or post-workouts?
So again, I think to be honest, in terms of food, I think you always want to try and do food first. And what I normally recommend to my patients is, you know, trying to use like a fruit or a cup of coffee before you're doing an exercise regime. But again, I'm talking about general exercise. When it comes to, you know, athletes or, you know, quite high intense sports, I would say letting them chat to a sports dietitian. That's sort of, this is in her field more. But I think also when it comes to normal supplementation, you want to try and get all your protein through food first, and then topping up with a protein shake. And what's happening is people are forgetting to eat good, high quality protein foods, and they're just shoving the protein shake in the day because it's easy. But you have to be careful of that in terms of kidney function. And I think also gut health. We've found a lot of, we've seen a lot of evidence that it does also affect gut health as well long term. So essentially food first, and it's maybe having to chat with your dietitian to go through your meal pattern in terms of what you're taking in the day, and if needed, then fine, take a supplement, but wherever you can cut, your aim is to do it as natural as possible without any help of those.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that use real food rather, but use a supplement as a top-up.
As a top-up, yeah.
So basically you're just topping up, but you'd recommend that people rather use real food instead of going the supplement route because of studies showing that there have been some health implications. I mean, there's always a side effect.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I don't know if they know this, but like, I mean, in a 30 grams pack of biltong, you're getting 13 grams of protein, which is pretty high. You know, so if you're doing that after an exercise regime with that and like some dried mango, or you know, you could even do a Provita with cottage cheese. It's such a good combination. Cottage cheese also has such a high protein value. So there's so many other options that you can do that you'll probably still get that amount of protein in terms of a protein shake. So you could probably easily get that amount if you just plan well.
Craig, to answer your question quick, I know the screen went. So May said that you should turn to real food if at all possible, and use supplements as your top up. So you top your protein levels up with the supplement, obviously. I will be sending you the recording. We got another question from Reashna. Hi, Reashna. So Reashna is asking if you are practicing fasting and work out early in the morning, um, are you affecting your results by not eating until a few hours later? If I had to answer that, so basically what she's asking is, if you're practicing the fasting method, okay, the fasting method of eating, um, the fasting method is as a more mindful tool to get yourself disciplined, connected with. If you want to look at it spiritual ways, connected with source, and you're trying to get yourself in a disciplined mind going. So not for, I wouldn't recommend using fasting as weight loss at all. It's not a weight loss tool. Yes, you're going to lose weight while you're fasting. Obviously, everyone does, but it's not sustainable. You're going to start picking it up. So we use fasting as a discipline tool. Get yourself disciplined. Stop this whole. Your mind keeps on thinking about food. Okay, what can I eat next? What can I eat next? I'm so hungry. I'm so thirsty. Cut all that out. Concentrate only on 1 or 2 meals per day, and get on with the rest of your day. So she's on here. If you're practicing fasting and working out early in the morning, getting your results by not eating only a few hours later. I guess so, right?
I think definitely. I'm worried again from a blood sugar control point. So I think already by you fasting and then exercising, I think if you could try and time your exercise with close to when you are going to be breaking your fast, I would say better, because now what's happening is you're waking up, you've trained, but again from a muscle recovery and just from a physiological point of view, is that going to be beneficial for you? So I would say try and rather time it where if you're going to do some sort of exercise regime, try and do it quite close to when you can eat, and then obviously make sure that you're eating a balanced meal. Making sure you have lean proteins, a good quality carb, and veg as well.
And obviously, it would depend on the type of exercise, right? You say like you're doing our exercise high intensity to just taking a brisk, or just doing a brisk yoga movement. I think benefit those people more that's doing a more brisk type of exercises and not treating themselves like high intensity the way we're doing,
Yeah. So for someone that is doing a little bit more intense, I definitely think you should fuel, because your blood sugars will definitely drop. And remember, logically, you're using last night's stores. So the last time that you've eaten was last night, and you're pushing your body to the max. So I think, you should just try and space out your timing really well.
Okay.
And I wouldn't do it for longer periods. I would say maybe as a good month or so, see how you feel. But I think long term, your best aim is to try and do a good structure of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's always going back to saying, is it sustainable long term? Because that's what people don't get. So it's all good and well doing it, for the period of time, but if you're on holiday, then all of a sudden, then your regime is different. So we have to be realistic and practical about things that we do.
Yeah. Okay. May, I know that you need to go now. You got a client at 2 p.m. Thank you so much on this webinar with us. And yeah, hopefully I'll get some more questions and we can get you back on with us.
Yes, definitely. I look forward.
And if anybody wants to contact May, I will May's email and all the contact details by the recording of the webcast webinar. And yeah, thank you, May.
Pleasure. Thank you.
The rest of your been good. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And I will see you soon.
All right. Keep well. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Did you stop it?
No, don't say anything yet. It's not stopped.
Sorry.
Just me click out. May, I'm just gonna click out. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Fine, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.